Hello there, welcome to Quick Yoga. My name is Marella. I invite you to take a good sitting position. Sit tall, press your sit bones into the floor. If you wish, bring your hands to your heart and turn in either by softly gazing, some feet out in front of you, or closing your eyes. We open with 3 ohms. Exhale, inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Release your hands. Word of the day is maintenance. I have a small sea kayak which I go away with on expeditions, very small expeditions, but expeditions nonetheless. And the kayak has to be got ready each time in advance. So essential maintenance has to be carried out in it. So here and there's a few scratches on it, and I have to watch that in case they get bigger and begin to leak. So I took into my kayak this afternoon and I cleaned it all up and I got ready for my next expedition, which is down the River Shannon in Ireland. And yeah, it's in great condition and it's almost back as good as new. And I was thinking about this in yoga. And our bodies, when we come to yoga and come to the asana part of yoga, we're constantly maintaining our bodies. And if that maintenance isn't done, your bodies begin to degenerate. We don't get them flexed, we don't expand, we don't contract, we don't move the muscles, we don't impact on the tendons, ligaments and joints. And the simple practice of asana, which enables us to stay in our bodies and gets us out of our head, keeps us maintained and keeps us going forward. So it's really essential, moving our bodies, and maintenance is essential to my sea kayak. So let's make our way onto the mat. Come straight into down dog. Hands under shoulders. Move your hands slightly wider than your shoulders. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Turn your toes under and lift your hips up. Externally rotate your upper arms, engage your core, sink down between your shoulder blades and gaze out towards the end of your mat. Body following breath. Squeeze inner shins, inner thighs towards each other. And from here, flip forward into plank, heels over ankles, engage your core, lift your hips, shoulders over wrists. And then lower down into chaturanga, or 4-limb staff pose as it's also known. Lower to the floor, turn your toes under and make your way back up into down dog. From here, step your right foot forward, lift your torso upright, lift your hands up by your ears, stretch your front knee away from your back heel, front knee over ankle, lift back heel vertical over toes, stretch front knee away from back ankle, look up. And pivot to the back of the mat. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out. Lift your back heel vertical over your toes. Bend your front knee over ankle, lift back knee up, look up. Lower your arms and step your feet together. Move to the back of your mat. Lift your arms up by your ears. Step forward to your right foot. Place your hands on the big toe side of your front foot. Walk them forward. Hands wide open shoulders. Lift your back heel vertical over your toes. Look out beyond your hands. And switch legs, front foot back foot forward, arms out in front. Lower all the way to the floor, come into locust 2, arms by your sides. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor, lift your hands, your arms, lift your legs, turn your thumbs up. And gently release and place your hands by your sides. Come through the gateway of your hands and lift your head and shoulders off the floor up into cobra. Squeeze the tops of your feet into the floor, flare your toes, tighten your glutes, move your ears back. And moving into half bow, come and sit with your legs out in front. Clasp your hands behind your head. Bring your elbows into the side of your face. Stretch your legs out. Inhale, lean back and lift your legs off the floor. Gaze towards the sky. And gently release and make your way into leg lifts. Come and lie on your back. Bend your knees, bring your knees into your chest. Clasp your hands behind your head. Bring the elbows into the side of your face. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Bend your knees, bring your knees into your chest. Stretch your legs up. Exhale, inhale. Lower your legs to the floor. Exhale, bring them back up. And see if you can do 2 sets of 5. If you have a lower back thing going on, do it with your knees bent or one leg at a time. Body following breath. And come and sit up with your toes turned under. Coming into elevated thunderbolt. Big toes together, inner heels, hands to your heart. Press down with your sit bones into your heels. Lift your gaze. Make your way into 8 angle pose. Walk your hands forward, walk your knees back. Lower your chest to the floor.
And walk your hands back until your hands are halfway down your ribs, your forearms are vertical, turn your toes under, lift your hips up. Chin on the floor. From there, moving into Cobra, stretch your legs out behind you. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Squeeze your heels together, move your ears back. Moving into no hand lunge. Make your way through down dog, step your right foot forward, pivot your back heel to the floor, line up the outside edge of your back foot with the short end of your mat, clasp your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, bend your elbows, place your thumbs on the small of your back and then lean forward, head towards the floor, lift your arms up, stretch your knuckles up, look back between your legs, press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor, engage your quad. Press your front foot into the floor. Lower your hands, straighten your front knee. Make your way to standing and pivot. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out. Bend your front knee, hinge forward. Bring your head to the floor, outside edge of your back foot into the floor, stretch arms up, stretch knuckles up, allow your head to drop. Lower your hands, straighten your front knee, stand up. And moving into warrior two, line up your front heel so it bisects the arch of your back foot. Inhale your arms up. Just check that your hands are in line with your shoulders. Bend your front knee, sink down. Front knee over ankle. Careful not to lean over your front knee. Lift your chin, look out beyond your fingertips. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Roll your right hip underneath. Press down, stand up and pivot to the other end of the mat by turning your right foot in, your left foot out. Bend your front knee, sink down. Look out over your left hand arm. Inhale, press down, stand up and make your way into wide leg forward fold. Lift your arms up. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hinge forward. Place your hands, lining up your fingernails with your toenails. Hinge forward. Float your hips forward and hands shoulder width apart. Squeeze your inner shins, your inner thighs towards each other. Observe your breath. Press down. Come up onto your hands, place your hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows back behind you, lift your torso upright and step your feet together. Charlie Chaplin, your feet together. Mudra. Bring your hands behind your back as if in prayer. I'll just show you. More doable. Fingers pointed down the way is more difficult. Fingers pointed up the way. So I'm choosing to to point my fingers up the waist. Step forward with your right foot and turn your back foot out like 45 degrees. Lift your chest, stretch your spine, square your hips to shoulders to the short end of your mat. Inhale and exhale and hinge forward and bring your chin to your shin. Engage your quads. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, come back up and switch to the other side. Left foot forward, right foot back, square towards the front of the mat, stretch your spine. Inhale, hinge forward, exhale. Inhale, come back up to center. And make your way into step your feet together and moving into forward fold. Bend your knees slightly, more doable, feet inner hip width apart, more difficult, feet together. Inhale your arms up, exhale, hinge forward, place your hands on the floor. Turn your sit bones up, gaze out in front of you. So you're on the tips of your fingers. Your hands are slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and they're some 18 inches from your feet. If it's available to you, press the backs of your knees away from you. Stay here, more doable, more difficult. Exhale, inhale, and move. Fold forward even more. Bring your chin to your shin. Line up your fingernails with your toenails. Press the heel of your hands into the floor. Press the backs of your knees away or keep a slight bend in your knees. Place your hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows back, press down, stand up and come into mountain. Close your eyes, turn in. Make your way into down dog. Hands wider than shoulders. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Externally rotate your upper arms and gaze at a point between your thumbs. Turn your sit bones up. Make your way to your back, moving into bridge or upward bow. Come and line your back. If you're moving into bridge, you know the drill. Lift your hips off the floor, walk your arms in underneath, clasp your hands together and press down and lift your hips high. Or if you're moving into upward bow, place your hands under your shoulders, point your fingers towards your feet. And then keeping your toes turning towards the short end of your mat, press down with your hands, press down with your feet and soar your hips up towards the ceiling. You can come onto your head first initially and push on up or push straight on up, whichever works for you today. And release and come all the way to the floor. Moving into Tibetan weaponry, bring both knees into your chest. Clasp the outside edge of your left foot with your left hand. Clasp the top of your right foot near your ankle with your right hand. Roll over onto your left hip. Stretch your left leg out And then invite your right knee towards the floor, bring your heel to your hip. And then moving so that your shoulders come onto the floor and look behind you. So push through the outstretched leg, push through the knee of the right leg. Endeavour to keep both shoulders on the floor. Inhale, come back to centre and switch to the other side. Clasp the outside edge of your right foot with your right hand by bringing your hand across the top of your foot. Clasp the inside edge of your left foot with your left hand. Then roll over onto your right hip, stretch your right leg out and bend your left knee and bring your left heel towards your hip. Invite your shoulder blades onto the floor and then lift your head off the floor, turn it and look away from your outstretched leg. Make both feet active. Push through your left knee of the left leg, push through your heel of the right leg. Engage your quad of your right leg. Inhale and release. Make your way to sitting and move into east stretch. Walk your hands back behind you, lift your hips off the floor, bring your toes to the floor. And release. And coming into west stretch. Clasp the inside of your left thigh and roll it towards your right leg. Clasp the inside of your right leg and roll it towards your left thigh. Push through your heels. Draw your left buttock in, your right buttock out. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. More doable. Feet inner hip width apart. More difficult. Feet together. Squeeze ankles in, squeeze shins in, squeeze inner thighs together, engage your quads, gaze beyond your toes. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, come back to centre. And moving into happy baby. Come and lie on your back. Bend both knees. Clasp the outside edge of your feet with your hands. Turn the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Draw down on the soles of your feet. Press your lower back into the floor. Observe your breath. And release your legs, and it's time to move into relaxation. Stretch your legs out, stretch your arms out, turn your palms up, close your eyes, turn in. Sink down into the floor, receive your breath.
to awaken your body by moving your hands and feet. You might like to give yourself a stretch. Then bend your knees, roll to one side. You can pause if you wish for a moment, and then make your way to sitting up. Bring our hands to our heart one last time to honour ourselves, each other, and our practice. We close with one Om. Exhale, inhale. Om. Thanks for practicing. Thanks for coming to practice. See you on the mat.